Hey everyone, I am back with part two, or is that four? Part two of my book haul, my fall book haul. So every book you're going to see in this haul are books that I got for free, whether they were bought by like me writing staff picks for my job or they were just given to me or something like that. But these are books that I did not pay for, and that was just the easiest way for me to split up these videos. So the first two books that I have were given to me by Penguin Random House. So Penguin Random House sends their reps, like their sales reps, every fall to do like a fall preview or like a fall presentation where they sit majority of us down, tell us what's coming out. Of course, a lot of this stuff is they want us to sell it for the holidays, so they will give you free galleys, and in this case they gave away a couple of finished products. And the first one is What We Lose by Zinzi Clemens. I don't have to talk about this one too much because it's made its rounds around the booktube. This is a fictional, I want to say it's a fictional reenactment of Zinzi Clemens like dealing with her mother's death. I know it's almost kind of semi-autobiographical, but it's fiction work of art, and the girl in here, goes through talking about like the loss of her mother and her growing up and stuff. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to this one. However, I am proud of Zinzi Clemens. She recently wrote a piece of why she's not working with Lena Dunham anymore, and about the fact that we need to believe victims of sexual assault despite who the accuser is. I am not a fan of Lena Dunham, and yeah, so I will link Zinzi Clemens' essay below if anyone is interested in it. The next one I bought, it's not bought, I was given or picked up, is a highly controversial book when it came out back in August. It's by Gabriel Talent. It's called My Absolute Darling. So the book is about, I think she's 14. It's about this girl named Turtle, whose father is basically molesting her, has molested her, is constantly molesting her, and it's kind of about that and like how she's living isolated with her father or whatever. And it's controversial because there's apparently a lot of incest that goes along in this book. I had coworkers who loved it. I had a coworker who was very disturbed that this was written by a man and from a male person, is from a girl's perspective in the book, but the author is male, and he was disturbed to the point where he couldn't finish reading it. So keeping all that in mind, I am slightly hesitant to read this. So I want to read it. And I have this running joke with one of my coworkers because she is the one who told me to read, or was reading A Little Life, and I decided to read it along with her. And you guys know I do not like that book, so I told her I'm going to yell at her if I don't like this one either. It's just like a running joke between us. So yeah, those are the two I got from Penguin Random House. The next few I got are ones that I received when I wrote some staff picks for work. We write staff picks, we get free money in a sense, free credits to take books home for free at the store. All right, so the first two are HarperCollins Olive editions. These are just like the special mass market paperback style books that HarperCollins comes out with. They come out with every few years. I don't know if they do it every year, but you see on the back it says limited edition. So I decided to pick up these two. They're like $10 each if you're interested in them, and each time they release these, they are different texts. So they have a couple nonfiction, have a couple fiction, And just like in this one, Devil in the Grove is a work of nonfiction about a highly public court case. I can't even remember exactly what the court case was, but it had to deal with race and why this was a terrible trial, and things that were done unethically in the trial. Yeah, so I like this cover, and I've been wanting to read this one for a while, so I got it. And the next one is The Known World by Edward P. Jones, and I think this is the one he won the Pulitzer Prize for. He is a very well-known African-American author, and this is about a black couple who owned slaves. So I have never read a book from that perspective before, so that is why I picked it up. Edward P. Jones also writes a lot about the DC area. I don't think he's still writing. I also don't know if he's still alive, and I hate to say that because that's a terrible thing if he's... No, he's still alive, definitely. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I got this one in this special edition. The brown almost turned me off, guys, but it was also cheaper than the original paperback. Also leads me to talk about the other Edward P. Jones books I got, which is All Aunt Hagar's Children and Lost in the City. These were also like discounted. They were in like our remainder room at work. And so the way our book credits are set up, the way these are priced, I can get 2 of these for like 1 staff pick that I wrote instead of like... Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, this is his collection of short stories. I think these are the ones that are definitely take place in DC. Oh wait, these are stories too. I didn't know that. I thought this was a novel. But anyways, I don't know what Aunt Hagar's Children is about. Oh, All Aunt Hagar's Children is filled with people who call Washington DC home. Okay, that works as well. And this one, I don't know. It talks about like politicians too, so it probably takes place in DC. But anyways, I have his works now. These are the only 3 I really know about. So I'm happy to have that. I don't think I'll be reading these anytime soon, but the thing is, he's an author that people usually tell who he's an important African American author, and you know, him being a Pulitzer Prize winner, his work isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So these are always something that I think I want to keep on my shelf. So the next one I picked up is called Dime Store: A Writer's Life by Lee Smith. So I don't know much about Lee Smith, but I read one of her books called Saving Grace in undergrad, and she's talking about she talks about like living up in Appalachia a lot, and Saving Grace was about like this girl who's had a Southern Baptist preacher as a father who handles snakes. So like in some Southern Baptist churches there's snake handling, and he was also like a cheater. And so it was just a really good book, like really good. I still think about that book today. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me. That book is like in storage with like all my other books from college. But when I saw that she has had a memoir and that we had like some discounted copies of it, I decided to get it. And it's about writing, so hopefully it'll be really good. I think she is a good author based on that one book. I'm not sure if I want to read her other books though. I feel like I just want to reread Saving Grace when I get my hands on it again. So the next one is also something I saw on Russell's channel from Ink and Paper Blogs. He said The Door by Magda Szabo, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, is really good. We do have this, we consider this like one of like our perennial nonfictions. Like it's a little older, but it's still good. I'm not nonfiction. It's a bit older, but it's still good fiction that should be on display because a lot of people still like to read it and ask for it. So when we had extra copies, discounted copies, I decided to pick this one up. It says, The Door is an unsettling exploration of the relationship between two very different women. I'm going to just stop there. And that is pretty much why I'm picking it up. It's also a translated work of fiction. I remember some people picking this up during Translated Works Month, which was, I can't remember if it was back in October. I think it was in October, or was it September? I'm not sure. But, yeah. So, I have this. I'm not going to read it anytime soon. And a lot of these books that I have, I'm probably not going to read anytime soon. But first, I just wanted them on my shelf. I think the authors that I got are going to be around for a while. So, including this one. Now, the next book I got, I've been wanting to read this book. So, I saw one of the people I follow on Instagram. She goes by Miss BS Zen Life. I don't know if she's gonna watch this, but hey girl, I follow her Instagram and I love it. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she does post about books a lot. And she was reading this when I first met her at like a book meetup back in the summer. She told me it was No One Can Pronounce My Name by Rakesh Setial. So I saw this was like discounted. I was like, maybe I should just wait until it's in paperback. But I was like, no, it's okay. The pretty vibrant colors, like, I like it. So it's about a Indian American man. And I think he is first generation. But what happens is he's tired of like cultural appropriation, and people literally can't pronounce his name in the workplace and stuff. But he also goes home because unfortunately in the story his sister dies. This is made known in the flap. His sister dies and he pretends to be his sister around the house to calm his grieving mother. And I was like, what? I didn't finish his interview, but if you ever watched the YouTube channel Lit, God, I can't even remember the dude's real name because he always is like making up nicknames when he's like interviewing people or whatever. I want to call him Liddy Fontaine, but like I know that's not his real name. That's like what he calls himself. But I will link that YouTube video below. And he mentioned that there was a real story about a guy doing this. Like he dressed up as a sister just to help his grieving mother. So this is his fictional account of that. So the last book that I have is a book I have wanted for years. This is a book I've wanted before YouTube videos influenced my reading, my TBR pile. This is when I just looked up like list articles on what good books are out, or if you're interested in this subject, what you should be reading. And we finally had it at a discount. Don't ask me why I didn't want to pay for it. Not saying that it's a bad book, but I will always look at it and be like, I can buy that later. I can buy that later. And I'm actually glad I did, because finally got it even though I got it for free, basically. Ebony and Ivy. Race, Slavery, and the Troubled History of American Universities. So I think it talks about the 5 top private universities that use slave labor as a way to open the doors of the universities and to keep it running. I want to say Ta-Nehisi Coates even said at one point he read this book. There are a lot of notes in this book. Like a good chunk of this book is like notes. Like this is how thick the notes section is. So this book isn't that long. It's a little shorter than, it's very shy. It's shy 300 pages. Anywho, great time to pick this up because there was actually a couple months ago, there was a article in the Washington Post about this black woman in her 60s who found out her grandmother was, I don't know if it was Georgetown or George Washington University. I feel like it might have been George Washington University. Anyways, she found out that her grandmother was one of the slaves that the university traded in order to get money for the university. And so now she is now a student there and getting her tuition paid for because she's a legacy. Like, isn't that crazy? So yeah, anyways, so yeah, that also reminded me that I need to read this book, and probably sooner than later. So yeah, those are all the books I have accumulated. Let me know if you've read any of these, and if you like them, let me know if you plan on picking them up. Maybe we could do some buddy reads in the future, and that goes for the first book. That goes for other books I showed you in the first video. Yeah, let me know if you like this, if you want to pick some of these up. I love to talk to you guys. This is one of the reasons I do videos, is because I love the community here. So I will talk to you all later.